What's up, guys? So this video is going to be about the first presidential debate. It's going to break down of what I think of it and basically, what I think the economic impact could be and, well, the country's impact. Futures are down already because of what we watched. So it really wasn't fun. So I'm just going to start off by saying I was going to start off diving right into it. But honestly, guys, I'm going to start off with this, which is I felt like it was two eighth graders going back and forth. None of them gave real solutions. No one had a plan. It was just really BS. It was, look what I did, look what he did. It was just like, is this really the best we could do? Articles out today that are right now, like the news breaking article, there's 100 million viewers. We have 330 million people in this country, and these two guys are the best guys that we could put forth. I can't defend any one of them. And I'm not, in a sense, proud to say that either one of them would be, my president. Although I will say, Biden was more poised. He was more presidential. And I felt Trump was just on the attack. And it's like, sometimes, man, you got to just let, the other person just talk. Because I really do want to hear what he has to say. I don't want to just hear about what you did. Anyways, let's get into it. So we're starting off, first off, when the first thing was like the Trump tax thing, which if you watch my other video, what are we bringing that up for, man? Unless it's an abuse of power where an independent counsel could view the taxes, they could view the transactions, and they could come after it, okay? And honestly, the same would have to go for Hunter Biden at this point, because you cannot, all these payments that are being made while he was, vice president, or Joe was vice president, we can't ignore that. So it's on both ends. The one thing I will say about Trump is, he never did really get a fair shake. The second he was in, he got attacked. And I can't blame the guy for hating the media. But eventually, each one of us have had trials and tribulations in our life. And we can't always hold the grudges. We're mature enough to say, what had happened, it's time to move on. At a certain point, he's going to have to move on. He's going to have to lead the country. He can't just keep, running behind it. So one of the things I looked at really closely was the taxes, because really that's the only real answer that I got. I watched the whole dang thing, and this is what I pulled away from it. Joe's plan was to do $4 trillion in new taxes. He's going after people that are making, or households are making, $400,000 a year. Excuse me. And he wants to do $600 billion in government spending and bring the corporate tax rate back up to 28%. He wants to pretty much get rid of the Trump cut in that sense. Trump wants to lower the tax or keep it about the same and let us have, our money, and companies, and he's saying that companies aren't going to leave. So those are the two major differences. But Trump didn't really offer an economic plan in the sense of, okay, well, at least Joe said he's going to do $600 billion in government spending. At least he has he mentioned they wanted to do certain programs. I didn't hear anything from Trump. And of course, a part of this is on me as a citizen, as you as a citizen. We have to go to their sites. We have to do our own DD, our own due diligence, right? But, the one thing I'm going to touch upon this is what's scary. This is what futures are dropping. It's literally a 50-50 race. Corporations don't want to get charged 28%. And here's the difference, guys. People always think, oh, these big corporations. Guys, a corporation is its own person. And I got to explain this because at the end of the day, guys, you got to get economically involved. You have to. We cannot use that as ignorance anymore. Well, I don't really know economically. I don't know. No, you need to take control of this. You need to know. Make a conscious effort to know. It's unexcusable because it's messing with your life, man. This is your life. This is your future, your family, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your kids, your wife, your everything. This is important, and we need to be prepared as much as we can to make the best decision we possibly can. So here's the thing. Corporations already face a double tax, guys. If me and you opened a corporation today, we opened, Joe Hall Capital 2 or whatever, or, Venture One Capital, whatever the hell we opened, that corporation is already getting taxed. The profits of this corporation get passed to me. I get taxed on that too. So corporations are already facing, in a sense, a double tax. The theory here is very simple. Either you're gonna tax companies and you're gonna give that money to the government and you're gonna let the government dictate how it needs to be spent in the economy, which I personally think is a horrible idea because what has the government ever done that's efficient? Nothing, except for our military, which is great, but that's about it. Post office sucks. Medicare, Medicaid, broke. The list goes on and on. You lower the corporate tax rate. You allow corporations to spend money to be able to boom the economy. Like, rich people don't just hide money and just sit there and count their bucks. No, they want to make more money. They're going to make more products, more services, more goods. They're going to push things forward. I'll get into where I think government can spend money, and I'm like 100% for it, which is good debt, not bad debt. We don't need government programs. We need government infrastructure to push private enterprise. So, those are the two things. I'm 100% with Trump on that, which is like, no, we keep it below. The rest of the world, the competitive world, their corporate taxes are 21% and below. We did have some of the highest corporate tax rates. That's not a winning formula for business. It's just not. Corporations are going to do what's best for them. That's why jobs are leaving to China or to Mexico or to wherever. So the next thing that we have is, I didn't like, Joe, when he was talking about racial inequality, he said, they need equity and equality. Listen, dude, there is nothing stopping you today, no matter what skin color you are, no matter what gender you are, from gaining equity. It's a conscious mindset that you have to deploy and sacrifice that you need to make in order to gain equity. That's not a promise from a government. That's up to the individual and how they want to live their life and what they want to chase. So we'll skip all this. And basically what I'm getting from all this thing is a divide and conquer thing, man. Both sides are so bipolar on each other. It's dividing us and it's conquering us. Guys, I just want to let you guys know, America is an experiment. Okay, if you enjoy America right now, if you enjoy the luxuries that we have, you have to understand that this is not a promise. We can lose this. This is not a guarantee. Everything that we have here, which is our civil liberties, right? Our right to press, our right to arms, our right to property. This is not a guarantee. We need to be able to play close attention because we can't lose it. Other parts of the world, people in other parts of the world are willing to die to come to this country. We do have something special here. We need to be able to protect it. Of course, there's always going to be things we need to fix. There's no denying that. I don't think we'll ever be perfect. That would be a utopia, right? That's what we're working towards. Maybe one day you never lose that as a society. You want to push towards that. But America, it's doing a lot of things right. Are there things we got to fix? Absolutely. There's things we're going to have to fix in the future? Absolutely. But I feel the moral fabric of the country is really being deteriorated right now because you got some people that are so far right or so far left that we forgot that we're just humans trying to get this thing along. We want what's best for everybody, not just what's best for a certain group of people one way or a certain group of people the other way. We want what's best for freaking everybody. Who wouldn't want that, right? Otherwise, you would be in a lot of those dictator countries that only benefit a small minority. And that's what I'm getting from this is both sides are getting so polar that it's like, where's the room for me? Because I'm not a hardcore Republican. I'm not a hardcore leftist. I believe in abortion. I feel like women have a right to choose. I believe also that government shouldn't tax you like crazy. I'm like literally in the middle with certain these things, and they're losing me and they're polarizing other people. And I feel like we're getting ripped apart. Like that's just one example, but I'm not so hell-bent that like I only identify with one thing. No, I'm Palm Joe. I have my own views, my own opinions, my own life that I've lived. And the collection of these thoughts and opinions makes who I am. And same thing for you. You shouldn't just tie yourself to the left or just to the right. You are you, and you have to figure out which party or which candidate at the moment aligns best with you to benefit you. That's what it comes down to for me. So let's see, what else was I going to talk about? So, we could charge the stage, and it really comes down to that. It's, we need to talk, not silence. We need to question, not accuse. We need to provoke, not fight. It comes down to the individual. It starts with you. It starts with your core values. It starts with, the effort that you're going to make to understand economics, because at the end of the day, it's what makes the world move. That's what it's really after, right? Like, which way is it going to be able to make money move? Because it all comes back to distributing time. It all comes back to being able to do a better quality of life. You have to make a conscious effort to understand economics. I know sometimes it might be boring, it might be dry, but you got to get a baseline so you understand what policies are going to be best for you and your family. Maybe these policies aren't best, but you need to be able to educate yourself enough to make that decision for yourself. And I'm not saying you're not educated. Don't take it the wrong way. I'm just saying, sometimes people, and that's a great thing you're following this page. I'm trying to help as much as I can, but it's above me, guys. You got to go above me, way above me. And I should be a small piece in your bigger search and your expansion for knowledge. You should be following 10 pages like me, cross-checking me, and cross-checking those other pages and growing yourself. So when it comes to these economic decisions, like, well, is this Green New Deal a good deal or is it a bad deal? And why is it a bad deal? Okay, well, is this lowering taxes really a good deal? Why is it? Is healthcare good or not? How does it all shake out, right? So that's the baseline. And basically, what I'm looking for, the thing that I care for, is right now. These are the things that I'm really. And guys, the list could be 100 miles long, right? Like, of course, like my moral virtue side of it's going to say, I want to stop, sex trafficking like 100%. I want to stop like crazy heinous crimes, of course. But the stuff that I know that we could hit, that's not like bipartisan, that is partisan, that both of these parties, which is crazy to me, we only have two parties, but these two parties could directly affect, and it's going to affect us, is going to be, I want to know where both of these candidates stand on China. I think I have a good idea of that, where Biden stands on China, where Trump stands on China, but still, I want to hear Biden talk, because people do change. I believe that you could change your stance. Things happen in your life. Just because you believe something 5 years ago doesn't mean you believe it today. That's why I wanted him to freaking talk, so I could hear and these questions be asked, so I can make a better determination, And I want to know who's going to protect whistleblowers. I think it's absolute bullshit that Edward Snowden is kicked out of this country. He did a great service for us. He did a great service for people like me and you. We're not standing up for him. And that's BS. For anyone that has the back of the small guy should always be protected. If the government's doing something wrong and someone has the courage to speak out against them, that's a beautiful thing. And they should be protected. Outside of national security, where they could have killed millions of people, like if it's like, oh no, these people were spying on us, and now we're going to kick you for espionage. That's crazy to me, But I also want insurance on property rights. I do. I want to make sure that the game I'm playing right now, the sacrifices I am making right now, aren't going to go to waste. Because why am I going to continue to do all this if in 3 years everything's going to be stripped and taken away from me? Make sure that we have those rules in place and that everyone's going to be playing the same game. So that's important to me. I want law and order for everybody. I don't want people to get shot in the middle of the street. I don't want someone who just opened their business, for it to be looted and burnt down because someone else is mad about things that are going on. I think that is that's BS, I want justice reform. I want felonies and labels like that, like criminal records, to be removed. If we let you back into our society, and I've said this multiple times, we let you back into our society, you shouldn't be labeled as a felon. If we let you back in, it means we, air quotes, rehabilitated you. So let you back in, give you a fair shake, because if not, you're going to go back to doing crime because you're not going to have any opportunity. And if we're not safe letting you back out because we still think you're a criminal, you're up to no good, or you haven't been rehabilitated, then let's fix that process. Let's fix that whole system, because it's been too long. It's been too long. That's the definition of insanity. We keep doing the same thing, hoping for different results, right? So, and then lastly, I want the infrastructure. I have no problem paying 28% tax and Biden's $600 billion spending package with the $4 trillion that he's going to gain over the next 10 years. If this is going to go towards 5G infrastructure, we're getting our butts kicked by China. They're killing us with Huawei. They're popping up all over. They're collecting that data. And guys, this is an information age. We don't figure out a way to gather that information, we're screwed. So if we have to spend $1 trillion to helping private entities or even the government subletting out all this infrastructure of 5Gs, putting up these towers, getting things to work, I am all for that. Building better, more roads, fixing the infrastructure we have. Our roads are deteriorating, putting in better schools, all for it. That is productive debt. I'm not for unproductive debt, which means just giving out more incentives or increasing Social Security or Medicare. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, this guy's an animal. It's like, no. I'm not saying don't keep up with inflation. But I'm also saying, let's not just go and say, okay, we're going to give free healthcare to illegals too. They're all covered under Medicare or Medicaid. I'm sorry, but we have our own citizens we need to look after. We have a country we need to protect. Our streets are crumbling. Our schools are crumbling. We have inner cities that are being decimated. Which one of these two guys is going to step up and fix that? Which one of these two guys is going to help us lead us into the future to keep America, a superpower? Because guys, we have competition all over, and these other guys aren't slowing down. China's not slowing down. Japan is making, moves with India to join super PACs. Other countries are always on the way up. Just because we got to where we are right now because of the hard work of the generations that were done before, it doesn't mean it's granted. This is like if you inherited a bunch of money, you think you're always going to be rich. You're not. You have to continue to work to stay on top of the hill. So these are the things that are important to me. These are the things that I'm hoping in some way, some form, both of these guys addressed. Outside of the debates, somewhere, some way, these are the things I'm looking for. And they're all going to have economic impact, every single one of them. So I am very nervous about the future right now. Let's not even get started about the ballots, because that's a whole different Pandora's box. And I'll have to probably do another video on that by itself, because that's going to cause a huge division and disruption. It's going to happen. Hope this video was helpful. Share this with a friend. Help me grow the page. And, give me your comments and thoughts of what you thought about the debate.